Hello, thanks for tuning in again. So as I mentioned in the last video, what I want to do now is just briefly talk a little bit about the hooks that we're going to use. Now, if you've already fished, you'll have handled hooks and you'll be very familiar with them. But I just want to go through some of the terminology so when I'm speaking in future videos you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So what I've got in the vise at the minute is a Hanak 910 saltwater hook. You're not going to see very many flies tied on this hook early on, maybe down the line, but I'm using it because it's a size 4, it's a nice big hook, and I can point out some of the attributes of the hook. So this one's a barbed one, and you're not going to see very many of them either from me because I tie most of my flies on barbless hooks as I release most of my fish. So in the vise is the hook, and it's just attached by the bottom end of the bend. The bend is this part here. I know it sounds quite obvious, but at the front here we've got our eye, which we connect our tippet to. This long bit here is called the shank, and from the point of the hook to the inside of the bend is called the throat or the bite, and this is the barb. We have the short length, and the overall length is from the apex of the bend to the tip of the eye, and that's pretty much the anatomy of a fly fishing hook. Of course, I will be using the barb as a reference point, so when I'm tying flies I'll often say something along the lines of bring the thread back to where the barb would have been, and on barbless hooks that'll vary between what hook we're using. I've been using barbless hooks for about 5 years now. I converted all my boxes to barbless and noticed absolutely no difference with the loss ratio. I lost just as many hooks when I fished with barbed flies. So it's a bit of a fallacy, the whole you need a barb. You don't, and it's actually a lot easier when you're fishing. It's easier to retrieve your fly from the fish, and it's easier to recover the fish because they've not had half their mouth ripped out with a barb. So if you're practicing catch and release, I would really encourage you to use barbless hooks. So that's the end of this little piece, and when we come back we're going to actually tie a fly. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.